Somebody come get 'em, they're too old for TikTok.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for TikTok. We have episode 181. We're in mid-September. TikTok is good. TikTok's actually been showing me a lot of old videos lately. And Catalina, you called me out on this last week because I don't know what my algorithm's doing. I'm just getting stuff from like July and August now.
That's very strange. I noticed that TikTok, they've definitely done some changes to the algorithm because there's a new thing now where you'll watch a video and you'll swipe and it's it's a video that's exactly echoing or responding to or in the same like genre as the last video you've watched. I think our friend Ashley of the pod had a good example where it was the clip from the debate about Trump spreading misinformation about people eating pets, and then immediately swiped to one of those videos.
A remix. Yeah, actually, we'll play it here.
The dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs.
The remix pops off. And actually, I mean, that is our audio trend for the week.
Yes, is people showing their pets, or in one case I saw a really good one of a baby like putting a dog's ear in its mouth.
Well, we're really just diving right in.
Well, let's rewind.
Wait, hold on. Let's finish this audio because Anton Dodson popped up in regards to this audio, and I love him because he did that song that became really viral.
Pet Intruder?
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Yeah. So he popped on to get onto this audio trend.
Well, obviously. So now y'all gotta hide your cats and hide your dogs because they eating y'all animals around here.
Okay, now let's rewind. How are you, Catalina?
I'm doing well. I am coming off of an exciting weekend that you didn't know about because you refused to read my text messages. And
I was very busy.
The only time we have to touch base is when we're working on the podcast, which is, it's just the nature of a busy life.
Yes.
But this past Saturday, went to something called the Paw Paw Festival that was illuminating.
Please explain this to me. Because let me say, because I know nothing about it because I ignored every text about it. But when I see Paw Paw Festival, I assume either one, it's related to Paw Patrol.
No.
Or two, there's like little puppies involved.
No, none of that.
Well, okay, I'm wrong.
So
explain.
The Paw Paw is a fruit.
Oh, yes.
It is a tree fruit that is native to the United States, which I don't know why Ashley refuses to buy that information. She's like so sus about the fact that this fruit is native to the United States and she's never heard of it. But I'd never heard of it until I was invited to go to this festival. So it is the largest fruit. Of course, if you're going by like botany terms, I think like a squash is bigger or some shit. But like the largest fruit family fruit in our colloquial understanding of what a fruit is in the United States. It is native to, when you read about it online, it says Eastern United States, but that's not true because then you look at the maps of where the species of the tree grows, and it's kind of like Ohio, Southern Illinois, Southern Michigan, Tennessee, Kentucky. So kind of like middle.
Yeah, I'm in New York and I'm not finding any pawpaw.
No, there's no pawpaw, but there's no pawpaw. So the pawpaw is a fruit that was never popularized commercially because it doesn't transport or keep well. It goes bad really quickly, it gets bruised really quickly, and it has a very short season.
What does it taste like?
So it is in the tropical family of fruits, which is also why it's such a weird thing. Like, I was gobsmacked that I had never heard of this fruit before. I was talking to a friend of mine who's from Michigan, and she was like, wait, there's a town near me that used to always beat us in soccer called Paw Paw, Michigan. And I looked it up, and it's called Paw Paw, Michigan because of the pawpaw tree.
Oh my God, I wonder if the mascot was the pawpaw.
Maybe.
Just a tree.
I mean, there was a pawpaw like suit. So let me read you a description. Pawpaw fruits are sweet, with a custard-like texture and a flavor somewhat similar to banana, mango, and pineapple.
That sounds amazing. I want one.
In the same fruit family, and this is where Ashley is being like too much media literacy, where she's veering into conspiracy thinking, is
About fruit?
well-known
Okay.
tropical fruits of different genera in family Ananaceae, the Latin term or whatever.
No.
Include,
This
I'm
is
telling
all-
you what it's related to.
Okay.
The custard apple, the cherimoya, the sweet sop, the ylang ylang, and the sour sop.
You're speaking a different language.
No,
What
this
are
is
those
one
words?
of the videos that I sent you this week. We're going to jump to the
Yes.
food section now.
We will jump to the food section, and I love it. It is a video by
It's Julian Moo.
Today I found not only a new favorite fruit of mine, but also the absolute nicest guy, Big Mac.
Welcome to La Bay Market. We import fine fruits and vegetables from the Caribbean. We also grow some of our stuff that we bring in Grenada. All right, this here is called a soursop. You would eat the soursop like this. Follow me?
It's sweet, slightly tart, juicy, with a creamy texture. I'm obsessed.
This is only allowed from Grenada into the United States. This one here, I just cut. We call this egg fruit.
It's mild but quite sweet, texture definitely custard-like, almost like a drier persimmon.
It tastes like an egg yolk.
I can tell you for sure I've never had a fruit like this.
It's a very rare fruit. I'm going to take you on the other side of the spectrum also. It's called a guinep, also called limoncillo. It's part of the lime family. Put your finger like this.
Subtle in flavor, but definitely tart, bright, and tropical, and somehow both creamy and pulpy at the same time. I also tried breadfruit with fish. The fish was firm, flaky, and fresh. The breadfruit reminded me of a starchy potato or yam and was really good at soaking up the flavors of the dish. To wrap up, I asked Big Mac his favorite part of the job.
When you see people come here, they haven't seen something for 20 years, and they are able to get it. You see the joy on their face and the expressions on their face.
Of course.
That keeps you going.
So he does get into the sour sops and other tropical fruits, which I think is great. But there's no mention of the pawpaw
Well, there's
in
no
that
mention
video,
of
is
the
there?
pawpaw, but the reason why I was interested to see this video come across my page was in the chat that you were so rudely ignoring. Ashley and I had been going back and forth for like half a day about this fruit, and her being like, I don't get it. Like, she I think at one point she was like, I don't know if I fully believe you.
Well, you're making it sound like you said I was invited to this festival. So you're making the Pawpaw Festival sound like an invite only special VIP event.
No. Now, the funny thing about the Pawpaw Festival is it's like super hippie. So I think
I'm not surprised by that.
I think the people who I went with thought it was going to be a little more like blue collar, middle America, kind of like monster truck rally. It was more just like crunchy,
Like
weed
farmers
smoking,
market.
maybe veering towards anti-vax in some like very like
okay.
holistic type vibe.
Now, was the festival, were they making pawpaws in different ways?
Yes.
Like,
So this is what you would have loved, Dina,
Oh,
is that
wow.
so it's a food item. So part of the festival is just that first of all, guess how much money it costs to enter?
To enter the
You had to
festival?
pay to enter. Guess how much money?
$15.
$30.
Ooh,
This
I
is
was
highway
off.
robbery.
Double.
Highway robbery.
Wow, $30 just to be in the vicinity of the
in the
pawpaws.
in the yeah.
Oh, the grounds.
In the grounds.
Wow.
That's the word I'm looking for. So there's live music on a stage
Fun.
decorated with pawpaws. There's a pawpaw eating contest.
Is it how fast you can
No,
eat?
I thought it was going to be that, and the pawpaw has several seeds, and I was like, these people are going to choke. But instead, it was everyone was given a pound of pawpaw that had been peeled, and it had the seeds in it. But the goal was not to eat it as fast as possible; it was to eat it and also clean the seeds as fast as possible. It was so disgusting.
Ooh, I
Truly
imagine a lot of
foul.
spit flying
Really,
around.
really a
Ooh,
truly
no, that
foul
wouldn't be
display.
for me.
But in the food area, kind of like, at like a state fair or something, there's all different food trucks, and almost all of them had pawpaw in what they were serving. So it was
That's
like
cool.
Thai food, but the sauce was made with pawpaw. Paletas, like ice cream popsicles, that were paw flavors, paw cotton candy.
Oh, I would love that.
You know what I was just
That sounds
thinking
great.
about our episode? You always yell at me for popping my peas, and all I've been doing
And
is
all you're doing is
Paw
paw
for like 10 minutes.
Actually, the peas aren't popping, so you're doing something right
Ugh.
with these specific peas
Thank
for
you.
paw.
I had an iced coffee with paw, which just tasted bad, tasted wrong.
Mm.
But yeah, so come to Ohio, try pawpaws, but you have to go to a farmer's market because they're not available at your local greengrocer.
Wow. You never know what you get when you listen to Too Old for TikTok.
true.
Last week, we spent about 17 minutes on Ice Spice and the Cleo drama. This week, we spent a good 10 minutes on pawpaws.
Mhm.
As it relates, we have been relating it to TikTok, but you never know.
And this is also, I think, kind of speaks to the cultural diversity of the United States, where we
That was some weird transition there. Okay.
I've just been thinking about it a lot when you go to these like small fairs that are paying homage to like the fucking pawpaw, and you're like, as
Mhm.
someone who grew up in the East Coast, as a coastal elite or whatever, I never heard of this, and so people are like, oh, people forget how complex and culturally diverse the United States is regionally and sub-regions as well.
That's the most patriotic thing I've ever heard
I
you
didn't
say.
I don't know. I think that could actually be anti-patriotic because
We won't get
nationalist
into that.
agendas like to have a more homogenous version of what it means to be
Okay.
American.
Okay,
And she cut me off.
let's get into TikTok. And that was, by the way, a beautiful tale of you at the Paw Paw Festival. And I aspire maybe next year I'll get the VIP invite to the Paw Paw Festival and be allowed to go. And what has been on your For You page recently?
First, I saw a video, and it was one of these. I'm always getting the podcasts, the talking heads, what we really should be doing, but
we can't do social media well.
exactly. Yeah. Or we get canceled if we try. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It was a woman reacting to these two girls on a podcast talking about how often they clean their pillowcases.
Yes, and the woman's name is Ramita_rated.
And she's obviously horrified.
Oh, yeah. I knew by her facial expressions that the answer was going to be bad, but that's really bad.
So are you telling me?
I'd like to know how often you wash your pillowcase. Tell me. Give the listeners an honest.
Okay.
For real. Yeah, for real.
I probably wash my sheets in my pillowcase once every 6 to 9 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe longer than that, actually. And
And now let me ask you, Catalina, how often do you wash your pillowcase?
Well, this is deeply privileged, but I have a cleaning person who comes every 2 weeks. And I will wash the pillowcases and the sheets before they come, so that they can put them on the bed. And it's mostly because I really hate putting the duvet cover on the duvet. And so if I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know. My friend told me because she has the same people. I referred her to them. And she was like, oh yeah, when you leave your sheets. And I was like, what? I didn't know
they
about
make the
that.
bed. So that's what I do too. And actually, in a twist of the world is maybe coming to an end, I actually do it every 3 weeks. So your bed sheets are cleanlier than mine, which is shocking.
That is shocking. I think that I was never as dirty as this girl, I think. I definitely used to be in the dirtier camp where it was like once a month or 2 times a month. People in the comments are saying like twice a week. I'm like, is your full-time job changing your pillowcases?
Yeah. You know what I do? I do like switch the pillows too, because like the pillow underneath isn't touching anything. And also I do shower and wear different pajamas before I go to bed. So my clothes are very clean. I feel very clean every time I enter my bed.
I think as I've grown older, have become better about bed sheet hygiene.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
It is important.
It is, yes. And that's why I don't let anyone sit on my bed, no outside clothes in the bed.
Now, see, I sent you an article about sort of debunking that, but whatever.
It's just for my mental
No
state.
shoes on the bed.
Oh, no, gross. What else has been on your For You page?
Well, this is sort of a continuation of last week when I poo-pooed your fantasy football video, but I saw a video by @LifeOfBecky, which I don't know if the audio is going to be super great in a purely audio
It's
medium.
too loud
It's
there.
very cacophonous, but
Yes.
it is a group of girls and gays who are deciding that they're going to do a fantasy football team, and there's one straight guy who's trying to lead them in the charge. In watching that, I was like, I guess if I were in a group like this, it might be fun.
So my group is mostly girls. I think so. Ben is the only boy now. Oh, and Corey, Angela's husband, was always the only boy, which was why he loves it, because he usually wins.
Because he's the only one who like knows the teams.
Yes. And this year also Ben's brother-in-law joined, Liam joined. So there's 3 guys, but the rest out of 12 are girls.
Fantasy football is still a little bit too advanced for me in terms of knowledge of the sport, because with March Madness, I just picked based on the probabilities, and I did well. Whereas with fantasy football, I feel like it helps to actually know who's good.
Well, yeah, Corey entered the chat and was like, oh, I guess this new Liam person actually knows football because he picks some like rookie where like I would never know to pick, but it does give you the stat. I usually pick just like whose name sounds best if they're like high above or like I've heard of them. But yeah, it does help. You're right. But sometimes it's just luck, because sometimes players get hurt. Sometimes people don't do well. You know, you never know.
Thanks for the invite, Dina.
I definitely invited you.
I've never been invited.
Okay. There's always next season.
Oh, I have a good anecdote for the people of the podcast verse, which is years ago when we did was it March Madness or basketball? Some sort of bracket.
It was actually fantasy basketball, which I hated because that was so much work. Like fantasy football isn't that much work because there's only like certain nights the games are played on. But basketball, that was too much. I don't know. Did we do it because of your ex?
I think so.
Why did we do it? Ew.
So,
but of course, I was the commissioner.
Well, we did this fantasy team with my ex at the time, and then he cheated on me, and I dumped him. And
he was
he had the audacity.
Yeah, the audacity. So he was in first place, but I said, absolutely not. He's not participating anymore. He will never get a penny from us. And he messaged me and asked for his $20 or $10.
No, it was $20. He said, if you're going to kick me out, at least I'd like my $20 back.
Oh, right. I said, hell no. And that is on being a good commissioner. Of course, I'm loyal to my bestie and not some random Joe Schmo who cheated on her. Gross.
I mean, just the audacity. But you're forgetting an important part of the story is that when he replied to you and me in that email, he spelled your name wrong. So the email actually only arrived to me, I'm pretty sure.
You forwarded it to me? Well, double whammy. Ew, good riddance.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And then what else?
Well, that's why you have a sour taste in your mouth from fantasy, I think, because of that. But you know what? Next year you're going to be invited. It's going to be fun.
Thanks. The other thing is pretty quick. It's Darnie Music made a video saying all Polish people can beatbox. I enjoyed the product.
Hey, how do you say wait in Polish?
Poczekaj.
How do you say it many times in a row?
Poczekaj, 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 poczekaj. Chodź stop, 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 chodź stop. Pasztet w puszce, pasztet w puszce, pasztet w puszce, pasztet w puszce.
Baczcie butiki, baczcie butiki, baczcie butiki, baczcie butiki, pustyka, pusta, pustyka, pusta, pustyka, pusta, pustyka, pusta.
I love this video. The music, the beatboxing sounds really great, but it's just a bunch of Polish words.
Yeah. What about you?
All right.
Oh my God.
I just drank orange soda, so I let out a little burp.
What kind of orange soda?
But Diet Sunkist.
That's foul.
So good. I need a little pick-me-up in the afternoon.
You know what's actually good?
But apologies.
Fresca.
Oh, Fresca's so
Fresca
good.
is.
Fresca slept on.
I was about
It's
to say
real
that.
good.
It's one of the most slept on sodas. They make an alcoholic Fresca, Dina.
Oh, I know. Andy Cohen, he promotes it.
Mm.
Also, my office had Fresca for like 2 weeks and I was so happy, and then it disappeared. I have to talk to the office manager. She's got to get that back.
Tragic.
Okay, on my For You page this week, I'm always getting musical theater content, and there's a creator I want to highlight. His name is Mitch Wood. This one is his impression of someone working at the theater box office.
Hi there. Tonight, let me see. It's pretty much sold, but... Alright, so, what I can do for you, I'm going to do these seats here. They're $4.90 each. Or, we can do up in the orchestra, down here. It's going to be $600. It's a hot ticket. Yeah? You want to do it? Alright. Credit card, please. Alright. Go ahead and insert it. Should be pumping you. Yeah. Hey, tickets shows at 7:30 an hour bill.
So it's spot on. And then he does impressions of people doing curtain calls, or the villain doing a curtain call, or someone like, tap dancing audition. It's just very, very good musical theater comedy. Love it.
I get that. I got that video as well, Dina.
Wow. You might be on the musical theater
I think
side.
I am a little bit, also because I follow, now I know how to pronounce her name, Eli.
Yes, the one we saw at Marie's Crisis.
Who is
yes,
such
Eli.
a musical theater girly.
Yes, that's why we saw her at Marie's Crisis.
Exactly.
But yes, she's always posting great content as well. Okay, next, there is a trend I've been getting on my For You page with college starting, and it's basically about random roommates. And this one, it says, "Don't get a random roommate." It's by Sewer Rats. She's just tapping her iPad with toes, playing like one of these, like, looks like Guitar Hero games. But
I think most of these that people post, they're actually their friends.
I was just going to say that. Like, if we had TikTok in college, like me and you would be doing this in Palladium. And you know what mine would be? I'd be saying, "Don't get a random roommate." And then I'd pan over to your bed and there'd be soy sauce all over the walls. And I would say, "Look what she does, eating dumplings in bed."
You know what I was doing the other day, which, like, I don't know why. I was looking up college acceptance rates. And do you know what the acceptance rate for NYU was when we went?
20%?
29%.
Wow.
Although our year that we got in was the most applications they had ever gotten.
Because of Mary Kate and Ashley, and because it was tagged as America's Dream School in all those articles.
Well, guess what the acceptance rate is now?
9%.
11%.
Wow.
We would not have gotten into NYU.
Probably not.
We would have had to go to like we would have never met, Dina.
Oh my God, sad.
Or we would have met at a
different university. Probably.
And they got last year's applicants. It was like 100,000 applicants. It was like triple the amount anyway, I thought those were really interesting statistics.
Interesting stats. Okay, there's another random roommate one that is hysterical by She Is One Silly Goose. And it says, "Guys, I did a random roommate and she won't stop singing this thing called Cats."
Bold and true to anyone who can do what? Jellicles cat and jellicles do. Jellicles cat and jellicles do.
This is something that I would be doing in bed, is like singing terribly to cats.
No, mine would have been, I have a random roommate and she won't stop playing Defying Gravity on loop.
That was you, yeah. Yeah, God. Over and over. Or Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton.
I have when Angela was my roommate, she wouldn't stop not sleeping normal hours. She would sleep in shifts and do homework. She would like sleep for 2 hours, or she would set her alarm at 3 a.m. so she could wake up and do homework and then like come home and nap. And I was like, that's not what a human should do.
I can't nap well, so I would always stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m. to finish all my shit. And then I would wake her and tag her in, and she would get up at like 3 or 4.
And I would be like, can you all stop?
Just calm the fuck down.
And that's why I wear earplugs and a face mask.
And that's like Catalina needs her 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing on my For You page, which I thought was really funny, is by Ainsley Zarnicki, is about Fairfield University TikTok, which I'm not on, but I did see this video.
Is anybody else on Fairfield University TikTok? Anyone else or just me? This summer when I lived in New York, I actually had friends who went to Fairfield. I never even heard of the school until I was in New York this summer. But I remember them telling me about how it was close to a beach and all this blah, 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 blah. And now I'm on Fairfield University TikTok and how these kids literally live at the beach in these nice little beach house cottages, so aesthetic. It's literally so what I want my vibe to look like. Honestly, it's pissing me off because I'm a junior and I'm it's too late for me to transfer. It's too late for me to transfer to this school. Do they have a good football team? Probably not. Is it a big college SEC vibe? Most likely not. But do those seniors get to live at the beach? Yes. Imagine your senior year at the beach in a cute little beach house with all of your friends.
Catalina, as someone from Connecticut,
Fake news.
please, this is fake news?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been on Fairfield University TikTok, but as someone from Connecticut, I can say living on the beach, you live on the Long Island Sound, and it's cold 60% of the year.
Maybe we would have met at Fairfield University if we applied.
I actually did just check their acceptance rate, and it is 52%.
Oh, we
could
could
have
have
gotten in there
then.
for sure.
For sure.
I'm sure that they have lovely dorms on the Long Island Sound, but you're on the fucking Long Island Sound.
And it's also not going to the University of San Diego where you're on
yeah,
the
I was University of
round.
Santa Barbara.
For
I think this
2
is
months.
fake news. I don't know. I need to investigate it a little bit more. Oh, I'm seeing this. Okay, these are little cottages. And that's not a cottage.
Cute. That would be fun.
It's definitely a preppy school that people, go to. I knew some people who went there.
Is it a state school or is it private?
No, it's private. It's private.
Oh, interesting.
It's just, let me see what the student body is. 5,000. It's pretty small.
Oh, so small. Wow.
Yeah.
Good on Fairfield University.
Good for them. I need to, now I'm curious and I need to go to the tag and see what people have been posting because, again, as someone from Connecticut,
well, a lot of people in the comments are saying, oh, I went here as the best 4 years of my life. So people are on board with this. But other people in the comments are saying exactly what you're saying. No, LOL. It's not a beach university.
It's just of all, any school, I don't know, in Florida or in California, as you say. Fucking the I'm sorry, I'm dropping the F-bomb a lot today, but the Long Island Sound.
Okay.
Please.
No. Okay, let's move on to fashion on TikTok. And you put this here, Catalina. It's about how to wear a hat. I feel like we've spoken about this before. Or this is another old video.
So this is an old video, but in my defense, the reason this creator came across my page, and her name is Lauren Menno, is because she, and I guess I should have checked when that video was, but she created a video about the hat video. The hat video is from May. She was making a video about the hat video saying a bigger creator copied her entire video, word for word.
Oh, wow.
And she was this sucks because I'm a small creator and, these bigger creators aren't even tagging me, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I guess because of it, she got a lot of followers. So now she has
good.
followers in the thousands. So I went to the hat video because I was of course I need to know what the tips are. And the long and the short of it is you're supposed to tuck your ears into the hat so your ears aren't sticking out. And then you do something with your hair so that it's kind of tousled.
It's
how do you say that word?
Your ears.
Tousled?
I don't know if that's the right word for what the hair is doing there.
Or, it's tendrils.
There's pieces. Little hair pieces. Now, the way you just did your hair, you look like you have payas.
What is payas? Oh, the Hasidic Jewish thing?
Yeah.
In the pictures that I was sending, I was yes, I look like I have that. Except they're not ringlets.
Yeah.
When The whole pieces thing, I just get really nervous that we're going to go back to, and I think we already are back at like the Keira Knightley, just like two small strands of hair.
Oh, God.
I remember doing that on picture day in 8th grade because another girl, Alex, did it, and I thought she looked cool, so I copied her hairstyle. And then also it was September 11th, 2001.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Well, my picture was
that's
taken
bad.
before, but it's just funny that it was picture day. Anyway, back to the hat.
Ooh, that's a hard right turn. Okay.
Wait, but I tried this.
Wait, sorry. Before we get back to the hat,
Yeah.
if you talk about pieces, you have to talk about Melissa Rosen's bat mitzvah pictures because she had two little skinny pieces hanging down.
Well, I'm doing
in
it right
all
now.
of her bat mitzvah pictures.
Like, the way that I just did my hair. Like,
Yeah, pieces.
I think that I could.
No, you look terrible.
I mean, yes, but I think that if I...
You really look terrible.
I think that I'm going to send a picture of this to Ashley and ask her if she thinks I look terrible. Because I think that if I posted this on TikTok, people would be like, yeah, work.
No. Ew.
I think it looks kind of good.
You do? We'll do a poll. I'm going to put this up. Okay, back to the hat.
Okay. Well, so I did the hat, and there were a lot of troubles that I ran into in the execution of the hat. Namely, my hat didn't sit low enough to cover my ears.
That happens
under any
to me
circumstances.
Too. Mm-hmm.
And number 2, my hair was not long enough to put it over my ears and also still pull it back. It just looked weird. So I did these pigtails. And then I put some hair over him. It looked okay. I was like, I do look like I'm Hasidic. I'm going to like be asking you if you want to be mitzvahed in the mitzvah mobile.
I think that if hair was touching my forehead in that way, even on my ears too, it would annoy me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
And it would be like sweaty.
The other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of hats, and we're about to get into learning on TikTok, but I learned something where someone put a panty liner in the brim of their hat if you're wearing makeup, so the hat doesn't get makeup on it. The panty liner absorbs like the sweat and any makeup, so it keeps the hat intact. I thought that was pretty genius.
I don't want to put a pad on my forehead, but sure.
No, I think panty liner is thin.
I think there's other absorbent pads, like a sticky gauze pad that you could put on before putting like a sanitary product on there. I also feel like price per wear, that would be pretty expensive.
True.
Excellent.
Okay, let's go to learning on TikTok. A video by Any Busy Bee.
I got like 50 of these comments on my video that just went viral, which makes me think that a lot of people don't know how to use TikTok. So let me show you something. If you ever want to find a creator's viral videos, even if they're super old, all you got to do is click that tab over there, go to popular, and that'll show you their most liked videos in order. I just use my own profile because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if I can green screen somebody else's profile, but in this case, we're talking about Taylor Paul. So if you go to her profile, click the popular tab, you can see all of her videos most liked in order, and you can see her old videos of her acting like she's a grandma and pretending her house is haunted and all that. It's pretty easy to find. So that's how you do it.
This is a good tool to have if you're looking for creators' top hits. You just go do what this creator says and you find them. That's important.
I think that's important. This reminds me, when you don't know the features, the extent of features such as your MacBook or Microsoft Word, where you start using something that's like pretty intuitive, which is TikTok, but it has all these hidden features that you don't know unless you were to read some sort of instruction manual, and no one is reading a TikTok instruction manual.
Or unless you're watching a TikTok video or listening to this podcast.
I mean, I wonder if this creator came across this by just poking around and figuring it out.
Yeah. Maybe.
But thanks to them, I will probably use this trick in the future.
Same. And this was such a lovely episode. Thank you, Catalina. Thank you to our listeners. And we'll be back next week
with pieces in our hair.
Bye.